Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the video. My name is Freddie, and today I'm going to be doing a different style of video. Since I'm new, I'm just going to be trying my own styles to find my own style and kind of want to MVP a project instead of just trying to become the best editor and the best, trying to figure out what's the best way to make a timeline and write a story for a script and write a script. I'm just going to do an unscripted video where I set a timer for about 8 minutes. I pick a topic and I just speak on that for 8 minutes. Try to give you guys some good value, so you can kind of see like what we're talking about, right? So let's just set the timer now, and we'll get to talking. Okay. 8 minutos. Boom. So, what do we got today? We have Atomic Habits, which I've been reading. I don't know if you guys can see, or the light's gonna be kind of bad. But Atomic Habits, which right now I'm on my first read, but I'm listening to the audiobook as well, and then I'm taking notes, going back through a couple of chapters as I go that are kind of interesting. But I've already caught some things on the audiobook that I noticed that I need to re-note on during the second read of the book. So on the second read of the book, I'm gonna come back through, improve my habits, because for the first read, I'm making habits, but kind of again MVP simple, not really with all the cues and everything that he speaks about, but just like at a basic foundational level. This is my new habit. This is what I do every single time this happens, or this is what I do every single time at this time in this place, just basic ones. And my point in doing that is because when I come back through, I'll make them better, but I can't really improve on them if they're not already there. You know what I'm saying? If they're not already habits and I see where the problems are and the little nuances like that I wouldn't have caught trying to just perfect it with theory, because like too much theory is bad, right? Like at a certain point you want to use it, you give yourself like 48 hours, get reading on a new topic, and then take an action, implement it in some way, do something with it, right? So that's what I'm doing, is just implementing it as I go, seeing what's happening, but not too much. Like I'm not going through it too much, spending too much time on it. But when I come back through the second time, I will fix all the habits up, and then I'll let you know how that's going. But there was this certain part in the second or third chapter in the audiobook, he speaks about how identity change is like kind of the underlying factor of habits, right? Of changing your habits. Why? Because your habits are you. The things you repeat and you do every single day, they do turn you into you. It is who you are today, is the things you do. And when you change your identity to change habits, it allows you an easier time. Why? Because if you don't, and for example, you say, oh, I'm trying to read a book, instead of saying you're trying to read a book, you want to say, I'm trying to become a reader. I don't know if you guys can see this because the light's kind of bad, but you say that I'm trying to become a reader, not someone who read a book, but someone who reads books. Because when you're someone that reads books, what does that person do? Well, they pick up books and read. They see a book, they like that book, they buy it. They take it home, they open it, they read the first 10 pages. They read at least 15 every single day after that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, you fall into line with a person who does those things. So why is this important? Because I was kind of thinking, for me, visualizing is important, right? And a lot of these big guys talk about visualizing. I don't know who you guys listen to talk. If you listen to anyone, like for me, people who talk about visualizing is people like, for YouTube interviews and stuff, is like Ed Milet and Tom Bilyeu and Luke Belmore, right? And why must you visualize? Because if you visualize, you'll be able to know where you're going. And people always say that, like, there's a two-step process, right? Know what you want, and then find the people who have it and do what they do. Follow them. Listen to them. Read the books they read. Go to the conferences they go to, right? All these things. So my point being, if you change your identity, maybe that's why visualizing works. For me, visualizing is telling your brain that you set a goal, setting a goal for your brain. Like if you imagine yourself living in that big house in Italy on the coast and having 5 cars, you're going to have to do things that the guy who lives on the coast in Italy with a big house and has 5 cars does to get there, right? So I think visualizing for me is really telling my subconscious mind, that's where we're going, or that's where we're going, or that's where we're going. And it's really getting it. Like you write a goal down on paper and your brain, you see it, but your subconscious mind doesn't hear it. It doesn't know. That's what you're going. That's why you're supposed to do the things that you need to do now to be that guy, right? It doesn't know that yet. But it's why like affirmations work the same way, right? You write something down, you say it 10 times every single day, or you say, morning and night, morning and night, morning and night for 10 weeks. It's now the thing you do because that's who you're becoming. That's who you say you are. So you keep doing it. Your brain really starts to pick it up. You start to pick it up. You do the habits. You do the things of that guy. So I'm thinking that's why visualizing works like it does, because in Atomic Habits, he's speaking about how you need to change your identity. And if you're changing your identity to the guy who lives in Italy, that's a pretty big identity change. You have to do now things that some guy who's pretty successful, making a lot of money, doing a lot of things does, right? So you have to figure it out. So I think that's why I think that's how those two tie in, and saying that you are that guy now. You are a rich guy. You treat yourself like a business. And every single day you say, I'm a rich guy. I treat myself like a business. I'm rich in the mind. I'm rich in the body. I'm rich in the knowledge that I'm putting into my brain. I'm rich. It's like, then you become rich. Like, that's what you do. You can change your identity. This is why it's powerful, though. You can change your identity like that. Tomorrow you can be the guy who lifts weights. And people ask, why are you lifting weights now? You say, because that's who I am today. Like, identity is not set in stone. People like repeating the same things they do because 1, habits, 2, conditioning, 3, environment, 4, because it's comfortable. Like, it can go on forever, right? But you don't have to. You don't have to. You can just switch your identity whenever you want to. It's up to you. It's yours. So you're just saying you're that person, I think, and then tying in visualizing and affirmations and knowing what you do. And affirmations, by the way, is like very nuanced. Like, they don't work how people think they work. Saying I am gold, I am good at everything. I am gold, I am good, I am gold. Like, it's not going to do anything for you. Not if you say it 1,000 times, not if you say it 1,000,000 times. But they do work. I would refer to like Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. But anyways, I'm just going to call it that. 8 minutes. I don't know. I think it's close to 8 minutes. So thank you for listening, everybody. Have a good one. Read Atomic Habits. It's fucking good.